Happy 4th of July. We've had 5 straight profitable days. Let's talk some more baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we are back to end the week with some more MLB action. We got a full 15-game slate. Hope you guys are going to have a great weekend. Leave a comment below. Let me know some fun activities for the 4th of July. I have 2 toddlers, so yeah, we're not going to be staying up late for the fireworks. But either way, hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy it for those that do celebrate. But yesterday, another winning day, 2-1. We hit the 1-unit team total parlay yet again, and to be honest, it wasn't even sweaty at all. So we'll take 5 straight profitable days. Let's make it 6 today. But of course, any graphics you see in this video are from OUTLIER, the best betting research tool on the market today. I use this every single day. Click that link below for a 7-day free trial. So let's get into it. And I have a 4th of July dad joke. It's not great, I'm not going to lie, but there wasn't a lot of options for 4th of July. Here we go. Why aren't there any 4th of July knock-knock jokes? Because freedom rings. I'm not going to sing it. Anyways, in this video, we're going to recap that 2-1 day yesterday, and then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups, the pitcher strikeout matchups, the full 15-game pitcher report, and of course, we'll end it with the best bets and the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we are now over 40,000. Cannot thank you guys enough for the support. And again, if you're new, click that Discord link below. Completely free to join, and we talk sports every single day. So let's get it rolling, and that means it's recap time. All right, there it is, a 2-1 day, starting out with the alt team total parlay. Could this have been any better, guys? I love when the reads go like this. Tigers team total over 2.5, cash in the first inning. Angels team total over 2.5, cash in the second inning. Royals team total under 6.5. They finally score in the 7th inning, 3 runs, and that's what they end with, and a 3-2 win over my Mariners as they choke it away again in the 9th inning. But either way, nice win there. Brandon Walter over 16 outs. I added this in the morning. I knew this was a risk. It's at Coors Field, his first start. He just didn't look very good. He just had so many long at-bats, so many foul balls. Kudos to the Rockies, and he ended up going 5 innings. But Chris Bassett over 16.5 outs. The main reason I liked it because I thought he would have a 100 to 110 pitch leash with how the Blue Jays bullpen was. And sure enough, with 90-something pitches, he comes back out for the 6th, gets 2 outs, and absolutely just cashes for us. Bassett never does things like that for me. So I'm going to send him a gift basket because that was absolutely beautiful. Close one there, but we win. So 5 straight winning days. There's the overall record. As you guys know, we dug a hole of down like 11 or 12 units. Now down 6.21. Let's keep this momentum going. But that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk some hitter matchups. All right, before we get into these hitter matchups, Ryan reminded me to mention Luis Ortiz was our bet. One of my favorite bets, under outs yesterday. But obviously, as you guys know, or most of you know, he got suspended for sports betting. That's right. Possibly on 2 different pitches where there was a lot of action on the first pitch of the inning being a ball, and he threw 2 horrendous sliders or something like that. So I don't even know. It was insane. We'll see what it comes out to be, but wild. Anyways, good hitter matchups. We got 10 of them. Ian Happ, 13 for 40 with no bombs, though, off Miles Mikolas. Nico Horner, 13 for 33 off Mikolas. And then you see Josh Rojas of the White Sox, 8 for 20 off Senzatella. Rosario, Matt Olson, 4 for 12. Then you go over there on the right side, you see Mookie Betts, 5 for 12 off of Lance McCullers, down to Justin Turner as well. Juan Soto, 3 for 10, so on and so on. So not as many matchups as you would think for a 15-game slate. But that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Now let's take a look at the bad hitter matchups. Only 3. Mark Canha, Salvador Perez, and Kyle Farmer. That's right. Farmer is facing a house. Adrian Hauser. But either way, that's what we got for the hitter matchups. Now let's talk some Ks. All right, I got 3 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you. And these first 2 names I never thought I would put up here. But Reese's Pieces Olsen at the Guardians. Cleveland. 3rd highest K rate versus righties last 3 weeks at almost 26%. You did not see that last year. Olsen, 51 Ks in 48.2 innings. But this will be his first start back since May 17th. He did have 6+ Ks in 4 of his last 5 starts, so before the injury. Higher K rate on the road, 26.9. Slightly higher K rate versus lefties by 2%. Nothing huge. But if you're looking for a pitch count, because again, when it's his first start back, you're going to have a pitch count. He threw 75 pitches in his last rehab start, so maybe, expect 75, 80-ish right there. So just something to keep in mind. The next one, Soroka versus the Red Sox. Boston, 7th highest K rate versus righties last 3 weeks, 23-7. Soroka, 64 Ks in 59.1 innings. If you guys remember, I think it was last year, this guy couldn't miss any bats. I mean, I think I had an under 3.5 Ks for him one game. It was insane. He's different this year. Last 5 starts, 7 versus Texas, 5 at the Mets, 9 versus the Rockies, 10 at the Dodgers, and 5 at the Angels. Higher K rate at home, 27.4 compared to 25.7 on the road. Not a huge difference there. And then almost identical K rate splits versus righties and lefties. So that's the first two. Let's go to the final one. This man we have heard of. His name is Spencer Strider. He's pretty good versus the Orioles. Baltimore, third highest K rate versus righties in the last 3 weeks, 25.7. Strider, 57 Ks in 49 innings. Obviously, an injury-shortened season so far. He's been up and down with his Ks last 5 games, 5, 13, 8, 8, and 4. There's not really an in-between for him. We know when he is on, it is really tough. But again, he's a 2-pitch guy. It can be 2 elite pitches that you can't touch. But if one of them isn't working or not great command, his Ks do go down. He can get hit a little bit. But higher K rate at home, 30.2% compared to on the road, 26.4. Slightly higher K rate versus righties, 29.8 compared to 26.9 versus lefties. So that's what we got for the Ks. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here are the first 8 matchups of the day, and we go back to Reese Olson versus Slade Ciccone. Olson making his first start, like we said. In the 5 starts before the injury, though, he gave up 0 earned runs in 3 of those 5, and the other 2 he gave up exactly 3 earned runs. Going up against Ciccone, he's been okay. He's actually been decent this year, a little bit inconsistent. You see his expected ERA almost 5 as well. But Lucas Giolito, I was making fun of him earlier in the year, but I'm going to be honest, he's been solid lately. Last 4 starts, he's given up a total of 2 earned runs in 25 innings. Going up against Soroka, who, like we talked about already with the Ks, he has 15 Ks in his last 2 starts, 4 earned runs, and just 4 hits allowed in 11.1 innings. That's right, 4 earned runs on 4 hits in his last 2 starts. Andrew Abbott versus Luzardo, 2 of the premier lefties in the league right now. Abbott continues to show it. 1 or less earned run in an insane 12 of 14 starts. 1 or less than 12, 14. Luzardo, numbers are skewed a little bit by 2 horrendous games, which apparently he was just tipping his pitches because he got absolutely obliterated. Other than that, he's been dynamite. Do people say dynamite anymore? I don't even know. But Miles Mikolas versus Colin Ray. Mikolas been struggling lately. A 6.58 ERA in June. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But Colin Ray struggled to a 5.19 ERA in June with a season low 11.6% K rate. So it has not been pretty for either one. Marcus Stroman, good first start off the IL. Still don't really believe in him at all. But he did go 5 innings, 3 hits, and 1 earned run to the A's. And then the Mets is TBD right now. Then Bailey Falter versus Brian Wu. Again, we bet the Royals team total under on Thursday because we thought Wu was pitching. It got moved back to this. But Falter gives his team a chance to win. He's given up 3 earned runs or less in 14 of 17 starts. Brian Wu been very good at home, like I talked about yesterday. And then Zach Littell versus Paddock. We're going to talk a little bit more about Paddock lately. It just has not been good for him. But Littell been decent this year. He's gone 6+ innings now in 6 of his last 7. So giving them some innings. And then Kumar off his rocker versus Randy Vasquez. Rocker settled down a little bit lately. Last 3 starts, 13 hits, 4 earned runs, and 16 Ks and 16.1 innings. That's pretty good because he's struggled at the major league level for a while now. And then Randy Vasquez, incapable of missing bats, but still avoiding getting blown up somehow. Again, we're going to keep saying it. His expected ERA is over 4.5. His xFIP is high, but he's getting the job done. 13% K rate, almost the same walk-in K rate. But that's all the averages on the bottom and the first 8 matchups. Now let's take a look at page 2. And these are the final 7 matchups. We start with Kyle Hendricks versus Eric Lauer. Hendricks, just 4 earned runs in his last 3 starts over 16 innings. I'm not sure how, but he's getting the job done, even though he's not missing bats. Eric Lauer, the lefty, been decent lately, not going very deep into games, though. And then Quinn Priester, how about coming off a 1-hit shutout over 7 innings versus the Rockies? He is now, this is crazy, allowed 1 or less earned run in 4 of his last 5 starts. Yes, the Priest, man. Alcantara, he's now gone 6 innings in 4 of his last 5 starts. ERA in June was the best month of the year at 4.34. Over 8 in each of the first 2 months. His walk rate has massively gone down, which is part of the big reason why he's finally going 6 innings in his starts. But Uncle Charlie Morton versus Spencer Strider. Morton, highest K rate of the year for a month at least at 28.8% K rate in June. Just crazy at his age. And then Strider, we talked about with the Ks. He's not quite his old self yet, but again, 8+ Ks in 3 of his last 4. Been solid this season still. Adrian Hauser versus Senzatella. Hauser, done good at keeping the ball in the park, giving up 3 or less earned runs in all 7 starts. You see that 0.42 home runs per 9 innings. He's coming off a 4-hit, 7-inning shutout versus the Giants. And then Senzatella, it is official. He will be pitching in the home run derby. No, I'm just joking. But seriously, someone should use him. He's actually been a little bit better lately. But Lance McCullers versus Casper the Ghost. McCullers got crushed last 2 starts. 17 days off between on the IL. He's given up 4 home runs, though, in his last 2 starts. And then Casper bounced from bullpen to rotation. He got lit up in his last 2 starts, giving up 9 earned runs in 9 innings. And then we got Chris Bubich versus Eduardo Rodriguez, a pair of good lefties. Well, not good for one of them, but Bubich, after being a top 3 starting pitcher in the league, he had the lowest ERA in the majors for a while. He's cooled off a bit. He had a 4.23 ERA in June. Nothing terrible, but still not as elite as he was. Eduardo Rodriguez has been better lately, giving up 2 total earned runs in the last 3 starts over 16 innings. So he actually has been pitching better. And then we end it with the old man, Justin Verlander versus JP Sears. Verlander, in his 4th start since his 1-month injury, he gave up 7 earned runs, 17 hits, and 15.2 innings with 14 Ks. He's a guy who's, he's making it work, but he's not a guy who misses bats anymore. He's not striking people out. His walk rate can get a little shaky. So, he's okay right now, though. He has settled down a little bit. I thought he was being run off the team this year after the start of the year, but JP Sears, the lefty, his walk rate doubled in June from the previous month. That's right. Coming off his best outing, though, 5.2 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned runs versus the Yankees. And that's what we got for the entire 15-page pitcher report. And now it is time for the best bets. All right, bet number 1 is our bread and butter. We are sizzling hot. Let's stay hot on the 4th of July. Alternate team total parlay, minus 122 on DraftKings, a 1-unit play. Give me the Cubs over 2.5, Rays over 2.5, and the Brewers over 1.5. Let's start out with the Cubs over 2.5. I think the Cubs score 5+ runs, honestly. If you are looking for maybe its own team total and you can get 4.5, I like that here on its own. But Cubs offense, top 3 offense in the league, as you guys know. They've scored 3+ runs in 7 in the last 10, averaging 4.7 runs per game in the last 10. But again, with the Cubs, whenever they face a righty, that's when you want to take them. In the last 10 games versus a righty starter, over in 10 of 10, over in 17 of their last 20, they've scored 3+ runs. And in those 20 games versus a righty, they've averaged 5.5 runs per game. Again, much better offense versus righties. And now we get Mikolas. He is showing his true colors again lately, which is green, since he's an absolute Christmas tree sometimes. Like I mentioned earlier, 6.5 ERA in June, 3.18 average against, giving up 3+ runs in 4 of the last 6 games. He does not miss many bats. This is one of the toughest matchups you can have. And the weather here, 88 degrees. Wind is not much of a factor in Wrigley or for this one, which is surprising. But 88 degrees, you see a high total for a reason. I like the Cubs to just get 3+ runs. Second one, Rays team total over 2.5. Let's talk the weather first because it's on the road in Minnesota. It's one of the best hitting conditions of the day. 90 degrees with 13-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to left center. So you'd love to see that. Rays offense scored 3+ runs in 9 of the last 10, averaging almost 5 runs per game. They've scored 3 or more runs in 9 of the last 10 road games. So it's not just them hitting in Tampa at the minor league park. They're averaging 5.9 runs per game in the last 10 on the road. Last 3 weeks versus righties, the Rays, how about number 1 WRC plus in the league, number 2 slugging, 5th highest ISO power, absolutely crushing it. And they're facing Chris Paddock. He's coming crashing back down to earth, giving up 3+ earned runs in 4 straight. He had a 6.06 ERA in June. That is not good. Giving up a lot of hard contact, not missing many bats. Now he has to pitch in great hitting weather versus a hot offense. Give me the Rays to score 3+ runs. Again, like this one, they're the road team. They get 9 guaranteed at bats. Cubs do not, but I don't think it matters there, but the Rays do. Brewers, team total over 1.5. This is the dejuicer part of the video. Brewers offense have scored 2+ runs in 20 straight games. I should probably end it right there. That should be good enough. Again, it's just 2, averaging almost 6 runs per game in the last 20. This is one of the hottest offenses in the league as well. Last 3 weeks versus righties, 5th highest WRC plus and 5th highest slugging, 3rd highest batting average. This team can flat out hit. And now they're facing Sandy Alcantara. Been better lately, but always good to give up a couple runs. His walk rate has dipped, like we talked about. That's why he's going deeper. Still had over a 4 ERA in June. Coming off a terrible start in Arizona, gave up 10 hits and 7 earned runs. I'm not sure he still went 6 innings, but giving up 2+ earned runs in 15 of 16. Again, he could have a good start, go 6 innings, give up 2 earned runs. That's all I need. I just need 2 runs. So give me the Cubs team total over 2.5, Rays team total over 2.5, and the Brewers team total over 1.5. That is my first best bet. All right, this second one takes us to Canada, where the Blue Jays host the LA Angels of Anaheim. Blue Jays money line minus 165, Angels money line plus 140 with a total of 9.5 runs. This is probably a really dumb bet. I'm not gonna lie. Give me the Angels on the money line plus 140 on ESPN bet, a half unit play. Yes, this one could turn out to be ugly. Again, if you don't like this, I get it. You don't have to tail, but this is about plus 140 action. So we're getting a plus 140 on a decent team facing Eric Lauer. It seems pretty good odds. Now, Lauer's been okay this season. He's usually good for only around 4 to 5 innings, though, giving up 7 earned runs in his last 19 innings. Very capable of giving up some runs here. And then second, when I say he doesn't go deep, that's part of it. The Jays bullpen was used and abused in the 4-game series versus the Yankees. That's why we saw them just pitch Bassett into the ground and somehow get over our outs prop. He went over 100 pitches, but still only went 5.2. This is a tired bullpen. It's been a long 4-game series for them, and they're going to have to probably be used for about 4 innings. Like I said, Lauer's a guy who goes around 4 to 5 innings. And then thirdly, is that a word? Third, the Angels offense versus lefties last 3 weeks, 10th highest WRC plus, 5th highest slugging, and the number 1 ISO power. What that tells me is this is a very powerful team where they can just score some runs in bunches on a 3-run bomb, 2-run bomb. They got some power. I don't know what I'm saying. Fourth, Kyle Hendricks. He's been decent lately. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's an elite star or anything, but in his last 4 starts, giving up 6 earned runs in 22 innings, and a good low 6.2% walk rate. This will not be easy. But again, I think this is a sleepy spot for the Jays, and that comes to my final point. It's a letdown spot. I can't talk, guys. It is late. The 4-game series they just played was like a playoff series. This was absolutely huge. When you talk to all those players and teams and everything, when you watch the game and the announcement or the announcers, this literally was everything for them. They have now taken over the lead in the AL East. They swept the Yankees in a 4-game series for the first time and maybe ever. And with that, they've also won 8 of their last 10. All signs point to the Jays staying hot. But I do think it's a sleepy spot. I don't like the Jays bullpen right now. I don't think it's that much of an advantage of the starting pitcher matchup. Again, it's plus 140. Maybe the Angels can catch them sleeping a little bit. So give me the Angels money line plus 140. That is my second and right now on the video final best bet. I'm still working through some things, but I'm not quite done. Let's also talk a few bets to look into. All right, here are a couple bets that may make the card, may not, but just the night before I looked at some of these and I do kind of like it. So the first one, under 9 runs, Orioles and Braves. I also like the under in the first 5 innings here as well, but both these offenses average to below average versus righties. We have Charlie Morton versus Spencer Strider. Morton looked really good lately. It changed his pitch mix up a little bit, limiting some hard contact. We talked about how good he's been lately. Spencer Strider, we know he has the ability to absolutely shut down an offense. And when he's on, the O's could really struggle. And it's also a good matchup, like we talked about earlier. He could miss some bats. If he gets in some jams, he can get some strikeouts because Baltimore has some strikeout targets on that in that lineup. Like I said, I like the under first 5 if you don't want to trust the bullpens. I see a 2-1, 2-2 type of game through the first 5 innings. Bullpens are well rested, so we should see some of the best arms as well. The only thing working against it is the weather. It's good hitting conditions there, but I do lean under 9 there in that one. The second one, it's kind of a combo. It's either Soroka over 17.5 outs or over his 5.5 Ks. Again, I may not even bet either of these, but the over 5.5 Ks we already talked about. We gave out all the info. He's been a good swing and miss guy this year. I think a playable 5.5 line is just a touch low. I just don't know if I'm ready to pull the trigger yet. But over 17.5 outs, we'll talk about that one since we talked Ks already. I like it, again, because it's plus money. This is a plus money one. Only over in 4 of 11 games this year. But Boston struggled. Outside of one good series since the Devers trade, they've struggled. In fact, 7 of 12 righties since that trade have gone over their 17.5 outs line. And then Soroka, if you don't know, he's in the top 25th percentile in the majors in K rate, walk rate, which is huge. That's why he can eat some innings. Barrel rate, expected ERA, it goes on and on. This guy has been pretty good this year. He's an efficient starting pitcher for the Nats, and the bullpen is taxed a little bit. They need him to go deep. The Nats have actually been known, if you looked at some of their pitcher game logs, they've been known to let their starters go pretty deep into games. So as long as he's pitching well, again, this is a really early game. You're going to wake up and the game starts, well, depending where you live. So, again, day games can get weird, but I do lean over 5.5 Ks and also over the outs for him, but I have not bet them yet. So just a couple leans I wanted to kind of talk through with you guys. Again, there will definitely be added plays. It will be in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord, so be sure to check it out. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. The alt team total parlay for 1 unit. Cubs over 2.5, Rays over 2.5, Brewers over 1.5. Let's stay sizzling hot with those. And then probably a really dumb bet. Angels money line plus 140 on ESPN bet. Love the value here with the Angels on a nice little letdown spot for the Jays. But again, that's what we got so far. More plays will be coming in the morning. Thank you guys for watching all season long, this week, just every day. Really appreciate all the likes, all the comments. Even if I can't get back to them, I do read them. So thanks. I just want to say thank you to you guys. But also, hope you guys have a great 4th of July weekend. Again, if you're looking for a video on the weekend, we don't have it, but you will find our best bets on the post tab of our YouTube page, on X, and on Discord. So, hope you have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon.